Hi, my name is Jonathan Wiggam, and I'm just here to share my Christian story, how I became a Christian. When I was about 14, I want to kind of start there. When I was about 14, it was a difficult time in my life, going through schooling, really not interested in schooling, dropping out, skiving. I actually used to go and work in a restaurant because it was just made more sense to me. But it was a dark time. I kind of withdrew into myself, hung around with people, taking drugs, doing alcohol, drinking in pubs, underage, of course. And like I say, it was a really dark time. And when I left school, because I had no qualifications, I couldn't get work. And I ended up on what was then like a government scheme to help people that were long-term unemployed. And basically, I was on a scheme where I worked with people and we did painting and decorating and building maintenance in various places in Essex. But while I was on this scheme and doing this job, I came across a guy who was actually my supervisor, he himself was a Christian, and he'd come from a similar background. He was probably 10 years older than me, but he came from a background of himself, of drugs and alcohol, and he'd miraculously become a Christian. So one day, we're in this office doing some painting, and this guy, Nick, says to me, "Jonathan, have you ever heard the gospel story? Do you know anything about the gospel?" And I said, "No, I'd never heard the gospel story. I knew nothing about it." And but I was open to listening. And so Nick started to speak to me about Christ. And he told me the story of God. He told me the story of the gospel from start to finish. And as he spoke, and this is going to sound like a real cliche, but as he spoke to me, remembering I had no knowledge, no understanding of any of it, as he spoke, it's like God turned on a big light and spoke into my life. And in a moment of time, literally in a moment of time, I went from a place of not knowing anything about God, but to knowing that God was real and there was reality in the living God. That really transformed my life. All of a sudden I found that I had real purpose in life. You could say, another cliche, I've never looked back again. My life has been different ever since. And that happened at the age of 18. So many years now I have been walking with Jesus and knowing God working in my life. He gave me real purpose, real passion for life. And one of the things that I have today that I've always had is just this love to see Jesus Christ glorified, this love to see God lifted up. And today I work full-time in Christian ministry. I'm an associate minister of a church here in Aldershot. And, I just love to see the people of God built up, and I love to see God praised and glorified.